This is the demonstration against ACTA, the infamous copyright laws that has been passed by the corporate gangsters, banksters, horrible people who want to control the internet. Fight the copyright laws that want to own everything and prevent freedom of expression, that are against transparency, against those who want to keep everything a secret. Demonstrate like here in Stockholm, 2012, against ACTA. ACTA is against the people. It's against freedom. ACTA is for secrecy and private ownership. Stop ACTA. Keep fighting. Please do that. Demonstration in Poland against ACTA. Poland was very active recently in going against ACTA. That's right. That's wonderful to hear that demonstrations actually can do that. Let's move on and see if we can get a little further into this and see if we can find out anything that's going on. This is just... okay. There are incredibly many people here from around the world. That's right. Around the world. What does it say on the signs? Pirate Party flag. Slaughter ACTA. Destroy ACTA. Which is anti-people, anti-freedom, anti-expression. Corporate, private property. Installed and implanted in such a way that it inhibits growth and transparency in the world. This is Stockholm, Sweden, 2012, February. Poland and Sweden, they've been really good at showing their opinion of ACTA. Actually, these demonstrations have had a lot of influence. There are politicians in the States and there are politicians in the EU that are now starting to rethink these horrible laws that they've agreed on passing legislating into laws in the EU. We don't want it. We just don't want it. Occupy Stockholm. Occupy Wall Street. They are corporations. Just like Wall Street, very closely related to Wall Street. It's the same bunch of crooks and cronies. We've got to stop them. They're taking over everything. They want to own everything. They want to choke everything to death. So that like vampires they can suck all the life energy out of every living creature and thing on this planet. The environment is being destroyed. Here we go. Sopa ACTA, Sopa ACTA, Sopa ACTA, Sopa ACTA. Get rid of the copyright laws, get rid of the copyright laws. We just don't want the damn things. The Pirate Party and these people are winning popularity everywhere. The political parties, the pirate parties, are also growing fast in popularity. In the Berlin Senate, occupied by the Pirate Party in Berlin. keep fighting against ACTA. 15 pirates win seats in the Berlin State Parliament. Not bad.
In Berlin, which is both the capital of Germany, a big city, and also a state in Germany, so it's both a city and a state unto itself. The Pirate Party has, for the first time, won seats in a state election, and not just seats. The barrier is 5%, so they've got the 5% rule. You've got to get over 5% to get any seats. The Pirate Party had 9%. So they're going to have 10 seats.
That is a hell of a lot.
And this is the first time in German history that they've gotten any seats.
Right. This is
which I'm very
success.
excited about. Now you may ask, what is the Pirate Party about?
Right.
Aside from being really cool, because it's the Pirate Party. The Pirate Party is a party that is mainly concerned with intellectual property, and
they want transparency.
Basically abolishing it.
Exactly.
They are a anti-intellectual property party, and they're also.
I want to tell you, this is a good video you're making,
and against the state.
You're promoting the Pirate Party in a very good way. I'd like to compliment you this.
Put it on
the YouTube. I'm going to be putting on some stuff too. And we're discussing your video and other videos, trying to get a rundown of what's going on around the Pirate Party.
The first part is that I really do think that this is a party that can, to some extent, capture the interest of young people in a way
that would be great in a democracy where the young people sometimes don't care too much about voting.
Have not been able to do. But the second and more important one is because I think that property as a concept is such an important issue to tackle for someone left-wing like me, who does not believe in property, that a popular movement which might tackle intellectual property initially, that throws into question the idea of property itself. And that
okay, now you're getting philosophical. That's good.
I mean, the fact that people, that there's at least there are people in this world who are asking that question again, is to me exciting, because it's been a question that really hasn't been asked in a very long time by anyone except a couple of people on the sidelines. As much as people talk about all kinds of socialist revolutions and Obama taking over the US with his socialism, there has been no discussion of these concepts.
Very little, kid.
A socialist like myself.
Yeah, and I think you're in the States, right?
Really does want discussed. I personally would not vote for the Pirate Party, and that's because they're really kind of a one-issue party. So it's all about intellectual property and privacy, but they don't have any real economic policy, any real social policy.
They don't have it now, but they will get it. I can let you know that. You got to get an update because they're working on it. Rick Falkvinge, the Pirate Party's chairman, is already into it. He's been talking about it, and that's where they're moving.
And its fruits, as well as the intellectual fruits of humanity, should be shared in common, both because that is the just thing and because that is the most productive thing. To people like us, I think it should be exciting, and we should be quite supportive of the Pirate Party and their aims.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I think,
but when you get around to it, you should
directly support them
when you have the opportunity.
They are certainly a part of a greater debate that I think the world needs to have again.
We will get it. We're on to it now. You and me and my friends.
The rest of you.
Our friends. Okay, that was kind of nice. Let's get into Rick Falkvinge, Pirate Party chairman. Falkvinge founded the Swedish Pirate Party, November 10, 2011.
Actually, an umbrella concept for completely different rights. It's the commercial monopoly on duplication of a work. It is a commercial monopoly on public performance of a work. It is the right
such as what's going on behind us and probably
right.
Anyway,
so that's coincidental. So the court will probably go in your favor. It's not. You can't help that. The third is the moral right to be associated with what you create, which is completely different from a monopoly on duplication. The fourth is
so you could have by attribution that
right
would satisfy that third.
Right, as in filmed by David. And the fourth is a moral right to prevent a performance of the work that you think would be violating your integrity or the original integrity of the work. And what strikes you as you enumerate these is how different they are, and yet they all just encapsulated by copyright monopoly. And also the copyright industry likes to liberally confuse these as in, oh, you're against copyright. Would you like that somebody else plagiarized your work? But nobody's contesting that part of the monopoly.
He's making some very good points here.
In agreement that
And this video is also very, it's a good thing the video maker caught him on the spot.
So it's a complex concept, but still. You need to look at the quality criteria for legislation as you look at this. Any law needs to meet 3 bars for being in the books. It needs to be necessary, it needs to be effective, and it needs to be proportional. Necessary, solving a real problem. Effective, the means in the law books indeed do solve that problem. And proportional, it doesn't make more damage than it creates.
There is more damage done by copyright laws than any protection of copyright owners.
As you taking something of mine, something of particular value, because I created it with my own hands, and so you, the infringer, violate my rights, and so the proportionality is completely the argument, and not just the argument, it's the feeling that's getting very difficult to counter. It's the feeling that you are violating me by taking that which is most my own, the creation of my own brain and hands.
Right. My point is that, first of all,
please be inspired by this and go to YouTube and anywhere else you can. The pirate parties themselves around the world, on their home pages, they have their own videos, and wherever you can, go check out this guy, Rick Falkvinge. He is very, very good to explain what it's all about.
Because that's the only way you can sort legal from illegal. And we are at a crossroads where we need, as a society, to take a stand on, is the copyright monopoly more important than private communications? Or are these fundamental liberties actually more important than a commercial monopoly, which I argue?
That's also a very good point.
That's my key problem at this point. After that, you need to sort of go through all of these things and see that, are they necessary, effective, and proportional? In the case of attribution, the penalty for breaking that is basically a slap on the wrist. So I don't see it as needing to be on the law books. I mean, you're in academia. If you were to plagiarize somebody's work, you'd be kicked out of your career. And a $200 fine is peanuts compared to that. So it's very ingrained in people's morals already, not really perhaps needing to be in the law books as well.
No, we clearly have many social norms that prevent plagiarism or punish plagiarism.
There you go. On the other hand, there's also parody, as in it's like Abraham Lincoln said that you can never be sure if quotes on the internet are genuine.
How much of your motivation is, I know this is a silly question, but I'm actually a little curious. How much of it is because of a love of a free culture?
Oh, a lot. I mean...
Hey, this is good. A love of a free culture. Being free is the essence and the transparency. How can it be free unless things are transparent?
It was still in the hobby age, but
Great. I recommend this video to everyone.
as we grew up sharing first code on paper, then on tapes, then on discs, it was a lifestyle that our parents wouldn't understand, and in particular politicians don't understand it. If you look at how people...
Maybe some of the politicians do understand it, but they're in the pockets of banksters and gangsters and Hollywood industry. They have their own interests in these things, of course. And then there might be some honest, naive people around too. I doubt it. At least if they have a lot of money.
Operate as social creatures, a mechanism that's been constant since we emerged as a species. And the net has flipped a turbo switch we didn't know we had. So, how much of this comes from my lifestyle, my childhood, the urge for free culture? It's more than just free culture, it's a lifestyle that the politicians are attacking because they don't live it, so they don't understand it. And that's where you start to resonate.
The nerds and the pirate party people, it's a lifestyle. I agree with that.
Just not copywriting stuff. And copyright can stay on the books, it can get worse and worse, and we'll just stop participating.
It used to be in the United States that you could abstain from copyright. Yeah. With the adoption of the Berne Convention, that's not true anymore because copyright is automatic today. You could abstain from enforcing
you don't have to, yes, exactly. Sorry.
But that still doesn't solve the problem because it's enough with one monopoly holder claiming to have the right to look into your private communications, and the problem is still there. So this problem will solve itself over time as the connected lifestyle grows into senior age and grows into the most senior decision makers.
I'm 60, and in America, we still haven't legalized pot, marijuana, and every leader in America just about, who's my age or younger, they're smoking pot. So I'm not as confident that,
Well, that's a good...
I hate to be depressing about this, but man, we can't even get pot legalized,
That's one thing the German Piratenpartei took up in the Berlin elections, actually, that it's time to stop this nonsense.
They got 9% of the vote, which is phenomenal.
That's impressive. They did a fantastic grassroots campaign,
so to speak. The Liberal Party the ruling Liberal Party got 1.5%. Just to set the 9% in perspective, because that sounds like a terrible minority to Americans, but it's actually it got them a seat.
Oh yes, I mean, in the American context, 9% is a fantastic result. You got to put it in the context that having a proportional representation means that you get 9% of the parliament, and usually the parliaments are very block divided.
Falkvinge really knows a hell of a lot of stuff. He's By the way, I think he's very rich. He's made a lot of money off the internet, but he's sharing his richness with others, and he's really doing a splendid job for freedom and personal freedom and democracy.
You're hopeful that because I describe myself as a depressed optimist, and copyright is one of those things that really puts the depression and the optimist in me.
I think it's going to change eventually. I think pot smoking was one of those things that perhaps it is an adequate parallel. I'm not sure. Anyway, the thing is, you didn't get votes for that, as in. Yeah, everybody did it, but they didn't care strongly enough about it, apparently, to switch political allegiance. But as for the connected lifestyle, as for the right to free speech, have opinions, to communicate without being wiretapped, that does resonate, that people do change their votes.
We can thank God there is an internet and there's a YouTube that we all can jump onto and check out and see videos like this one, interviews like this one.
At best has symbolic value, but
when we have the opportunity, we should use it.
Professionally, that maybe there is hope.
I definitely think so.
So he's an optimist.
That we're at a crossroads.
Falkvinge.
It'll be
Richard Falkvinge.
30 years before this solves itself naturally, as in today's connected generation grows into the most senior decision-making positions, being 60, 65, maybe 70 years of age. And we're currently enabling a Big Brother society that if an author had written about this in the 50s or 60s, the book would just have been dismissed as too dystopic. Nobody would have believed it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the shit that's going down right now in Germany and other places with the Bundeswehr, as in police having been authorized to plant Trojans on computers, including their peripherals.
Oh my God. They really do that, huh?
And we're right smack dab in the middle of the dystopic novels in the 50s.
He's filled with information. This video is giving us information. Falkvinge himself is giving us information. We should highly recommend this YouTube.
Enough is that we bought the cameras ourselves.
Send links to all your friends.
So,
Yeah.
where I'm coming to this is that we got to defend the open society in the 30 years between now and when people who understand what's going down go into power. That's the key bridge we got to hold.
Rick Falkvinge, interviewed by David Weinberg. That's kind of nice. Let's just check out something else here if we can find something. Okay, where is something we can use here? We want to make sure that we get the right thing. Here he is again. Let's go up and see what this is all about. The tongue, we're sending greetings to Pirate Party Schleswig-Holstein. Okay. Here we go.
Hello, Piratenpartei Schleswig-Holstein. Here's a little greeting from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Rick Falkvinge. I founded the Swedish and first pirate party in 2006.
Great.
6 years ago. Well, what would you believe? Time flies. And as you're sitting down to plan the election coming up this spring for you, I wanted to share a little experience I had in 2009.
Okay, do it.
In the final days before the European elections in 2009, where we succeeded wildly, we were talking to a taxi driver on our way somewhere, I don't know where, doesn't matter. And he told us, do you understand the kind of responsibility you have? Do you understand that if you don't succeed in these elections, then citizens' rights will be a dead issue politically for 10 years or 20? That's quite a weight on your shoulders, isn't it? But it's the game we've chosen to play. And, more importantly, it's the game we're winning. When we took our seats in the European Parliament, there was a shockwave to the establishment worldwide. And I think most of them were sort of hoping that this problem of the Pirate Party would go away by itself. Well, you made sure it didn't. The Piratenpartei Berlin made sure that this was not a flash in the pan. So the German Piratenpartei took over the role of flagship and heroes of a generation and showed that we can do even better than 7%. We can do upwards of 9%. And looking at the timeline between now and the German Bundestag elections and the next European elections, there's you. There's your election. On the evil side, join the dark side, we have cookies. That side, we have lots of things coming up, unfortunately, in the year ahead. We have the ACTA agreement. We have the European Commission, which has just advertised that SOPA-style laws, meaning web censorship, is coming to Europe. We have the overhaul of the Data Retention Directive, which was fortunately struck down in Germany, but still will come back with a vengeance. And if it's one thing I've learned is that politicians do not give a single shit about what activists think. They do not care about civil liberties. They do not care about the promises they made before the election. They care about one thing and one thing only, and that is their job. So the only way to affect policy long term, and for that matter short term, is to threaten them on that battlefield, threaten to take their jobs. I see you're doing very well in that area. The latest polls from Forza give you 6% in Schleswig-Holstein, and I applaud you for that. I think you have every chance in the world to show the world that the Berlin state elections were not a flash in the pan in Germany. They'll be our third large success as a worldwide movement. As the Greek Pirate Party was founded just this week, media counted 56 pirate parties worldwide. And we need your success, frankly, in 2012. We need your success to secure all this, to secure civil liberties against all this shit that's coming down the pipeline on the top of our heads. Not to mention, it would be a great boost for 2013 and 2014. 2013 being, of course, the Bundestag elections, 2014 being the European elections and the next Swedish elections. So, just want to say hi from Stockholm. I'm proud of being your colleague. I'm confident that you'll do a fantastic job. And I just wanted to send out a heartfelt thanks to colleagues who's working very hard and diligently to make the world a better place against corporate corruption and tear down of our most valued civil liberties. Greetings from Stockholm, Sweden. Enjoy the meetings and kick ass.
Okay, we're going to kick ass, and we're going to say thanks a million to Rick Falkvinge, who is one of the greatest politicians and newest politicians, a new style, new lifestyle. He's absolutely revolutionary, and one who is winning popularity like never before, like no one on the planet. Okay, we're looking forward to this movement and everything that it promises. Have a great day, and now that you've seen these videos and shots and that I've taken from various places, be inspired and check things out for yourself. Bye-bye.